Hi, guys. How are you today? Lots and lots of 90-Day Fiance news to talk about. And I'm going to try to just cram everything into one video because I don't want to keep making little videos when I can just all get it done at one time. So today we're going to talk about Ariela from The Other Way. And then I'm going to do a quick recap of last night's episode of Happily Ever After. It was crazy at best. Okay, but we're going to start out on a serious note. Okay, this came out a couple days ago and I didn't see it. And just now seeing it, so I'm a couple days late with this, but I thought it was worth mentioning. One of the fans on Ariela's social media noticed that she had cuts on her arm. Let me see if I can make this bigger. And they asked her, why did she have these marks on her arm? Let's see. And she admitted to being a cutter. That's a person that, for some reason, when they get upset or they feel stressed or overwhelmed, they cut themselves. I wonder if you can see it. Let's see if I can zoom in. Here we go. Let's see if you could see. Can you guys see those marks on her arms? She did not. She admitted to it. She said this is what she used to do in her past. And this is the statement that she issued on social media. She said, it has come to my attention that people are interested to know about my scars on my arms. I want to say, yes, they are self-inflicted. I had a tumultuous adolescence, as many others had. I started questioning the world and my life from a young age. I could not find peace within myself nor the world I was living in. And this was my answer at the time. I will make a video elaborating on it and how I came to change. But this was the truth of my life, and I'm not ashamed. Thanks to all of those who reached out to support me and those who were brave enough to share their stories. That's a very serious issue. And that's one thing I noticed about The Other Way versus Happily Ever After. The Other Way really gets into real life issues. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. It's a serious issue that she was frank and honest about. So hopefully she'll go into more detail, and hopefully her stories will help others with this same problem. It's a serious problem. But I just thought I'd mention that first. Now let's get into that crazy, The Other Happily Ever After. Oh my God, you guys, it was insane. It really was. Now, the episode wasn't that good, but it is what I call a builder. You have to show it so when we get to the crazy, you can explain what's going on. And let's start with the biggest one. That would be Colt and Debbie. Now, listen, people, okay? You guys know I adore Debbie. She's just like a sweet little mom. On this episode, she was kind of rude to Jess. She really was. The explanation she gave Colt is she didn't want Colt to go through the same thing that he did with Larissa. And she was real leery of Jess because she said Jess just wants a green card. So she was kind of snappy. Colt had to talk to her, and then she ended up kind of apologizing. I mean, if that's what you want to call it. She said that I'm going to be in his life, you're going to be in his life, so we need to learn to get along. She also said like things that kind of alarmed me, like if she thinks she's going to break us up, she has another thing coming. I have to ask you guys this question. Is something wrong with Debbie? Is she overbearing, or is she just being a loving mom? I mean, there's no doubt, okay, that her son's a freak. He loves the women. He loves sexy time. And he's a grown man. She's acting like he's some kind of innocent victim in all of this. Like, Colt does as many things to the women as they do to him. Is she a Budinsky? That's what my mom used to call it, a Budinsky. Is she a buds her nose in Colt's business when it shouldn't be? And is she just latching on just a little too hard to Colt? It's a question worth asking, guys. I have to ask it. I know Colt says that she's the only parent that he has left. And so maybe, I don't know what's making her. I'm thinking she's butting in just a little too much. I mean, these women that take advantage of Colt, what she's leaving out is Colt loves, okay, people, loves to be taken advantage of. He loves it. Long as he got sexy time in, he doesn't give a damn, okay? I mean, please. It's just a question worth asking. But in this episode, she was pointing out how Jess might be a gold digger in so many words, and that she was concerned. And I would even say at times, she was rude to Jess. Now, do I think Jess just wants to be with Colt for a green card? Absolutely. No one gives a damn about Colt. But I mean, at the same time, he wants to be a willing victim. Okay, Deb, you might need to back off just a little bit. Now let's talk about Sinjin and Tanya. He wants to go home, people. Okay. Tanya is driving him crazy. There, I said it. He wants to go home. In this episode, his brother had a blood clot. That's very, very serious. He was in intensive care. People pass away from blood clots, but blood clots, I'll say it like that. So he wanted to be home, and he's not feeling it here, guys. Another reason why he's not feeling it here is because Tanya's always nagging. Okay. Now I know I'm a woman. I'm supposed to support other women, but not if you're a damn nag. Okay. Tanya, stop nagging all the time. His brother's far away. He needs to be by his brother's side. He needs to go home. So he discussed it with Tanya, and he's going to go back for a visit, and he's going to take the nag with him. Oh, I mean, Tanya. That's her name. Okay. He's taking Tanya with him. So that's what happened in this episode. Next, talk about Andre and Elizabeth. Okay. The writing's on the wall, people. Okay. So this episode, they continue to look for wedding venues. Andre continued to want the best, with money that is not his. He's spending all of Elizabeth's dad's money. Okay. But then he doesn't act grateful for it. He acts like he's entitled for it, to her dad's money and all of the privileges he gets with being with Elizabeth. And one of them's not having a job. Okay. But he still wants to act like he's in control. He's the leader of the house, and you're not. I always thought that the person with the most money was the leader, because they make all the decisions, but not according to Andre. And this episode is getting harder and harder to watch, guys. He actually told her in this episode to shut up. In so many words, he overtalks her when she does her interviews. I don't know how she's putting up with it. If I'm going to bring home the money and I have control over how it's distributed, things would be a little bit different, in my opinion. But, I guess she likes being bossed around. I mean, she must like it, or she would have left. I mean, okay, fine. That's her cup of tea. But this episode, she got baptized into his religion called Christian Orthodox. There he is running the show again. Even though they're already married, he made her get baptized. It's just too much to watch. Eventually, Elizabeth, people, I'm telling you, have you ever seen the movie Burning Bed? After a while, she's going to get tired of his mess. I guarantee it. Let's move on. Let's talk about Asuelu. Asuelu the dunce. That's what I have to call him, people. I like him. He's a nice guy, but he's a dunce. Okay. Lo is Kalani's dad had a long talk with him. First of all, okay, he claimed he wanted to go out and talk and walk the dog. Walk the dog. Now, Asuelo's no idiot. He has to know that Lo doesn't like him. I would stop going on long walks with Lo if I were you. I mean, I'm just saying, especially if he had like a knife in his back pocket. He's not feeling you, Asuelu. So this episode, he made it very clear that he did not appreciate Asuelu's terrible childlike behavior when they were in California. Okay. He said that he thinks that Asuelu owes his wife and Kalani, his daughter, an apology. And I totally agree. I mean, what he kind of did basically was try to shock Asuelu into adulthood. Like, time to get out of third grade. It's time for you to act like an adult because you're a little too tall to be acting like a damn kid. And not only that, is that you have children, especially my damn grandchildren. But do I think it worked? I think it went in one ear and out the other. I mean, yes, Asuelu said he's going to apologize, but I'll believe it when I see it. And he's got a lot of growing to do. I just hope he does it in time before, I don't know, Loeb pulls out a rope or something. I mean, he's living on borrowed time, people. I'm afraid for Asuelu. And the worst part of it, he doesn't get it. Asuelu doesn't see it coming, people. He's just, going through life, being the dunce that he is. He's a lovable dunce, but he's a dunce. Okay, and then we're going to get to Angela and Michael, my favorite couple. You guys know how I feel about Angela and Michael, but like, Michael just does the craziest things. I think he loves being yelled at. That's it, people. He loves it. He loves to get a reaction out of Angela. And she did not disappoint. In this episode, he took Angela to meet a friend, okay, who was supposed to be a guy, and 3 of his female friends to discuss what life was like in America. Really, Michael? You want to know what life is like in America? Why don't you ask Angela? I just think he just likes it when I think he's putting on people for the camera. Okay. He knows what pushes Angela's buttons. Women and nonsense. And this was some totally, utterly complete nonsense, Michael. Okay. I mean, really. Why does someone need to tell Angela what life is like in America when she lives here? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. No sympathy here. She let him have it, and she should. But I really do think he's putting on for the cameras. I mean, what? To tell me what life is like in America, and I live here. This doesn't make sense. And she did not disappoint. She gave him a good homegrown cussing out, which he deserves. But at the same time, Angela's going through a lot. She's really worried about her mother, who is back in the States. And her mother she said, going through like dementia, stuff like that. I really do think it would be a good idea if Michael came here and helped alleviate Angela of some of her problems. She's the breadwinner in the household. Her family just really depends on her. And I'm sure it would be nice to share that with Michael. But unfortunately, guys, like I said in every video, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it's not looking good. Put it that way. Him coming to the U.S. is not looking good. So, but that's not stopping the wedding. These two are still going to get married. I really do think they love each other. And it would be a big help to Angela if he came here. I think he would be a great, what do you call it? Step granddad? I guess that's what you call it. I don't even know what to call it. And I have one, a step granddad. But okay. So that's what happened on this week's episode. I just wanted to let you guys know what's going down until we get to the great episodes that are coming up. Lots of drama. Oh, no, and I forgot the winner. It's Larissa. Larissa gets back with Ericy. Now, listen. Do you guys think Larissa's putting on? She never calls her friend Carmen me. But she goes, Colty, Ericy. She does that, to lure men in. I'm convinced. I'm totally convinced. In this episode, she gets back with Ericy, and her friend Carmen kicks her out, says, I'm done with the drama. I don't blame you, Carmen. I mean, who has time? Look at all Carmen went through to help Larissa. And she's going to throw it all away and get back with Ericy. And if Ericy is treating her the way that Carmen describes him, like a user, she doesn't have time for the drama. Okay, so good for you, Carmen. Larissa, you gotta go. And she even brought up a good point, Larissa. You're putting your status, what's it called? Immigration status on the line here by going back to Ericy. If you guys have another argument-y, and then you're outie the country. I mean, it's not worth it. So I totally agree with Carmen. I'm glad she kicked you out. You have to go. I mean, if you're not going to take it serious, why should she? So that's what happened on this week's episode. Lots and lots and lots to talk about in the comment section, guys. Number one, how brave is it for Ariela to come forth and talk about something that she's probably not proud of, but it's real. It really happened to her, and that takes a lot of courage. Most people would hide things like this. Number two, who agrees with me? Is Deb borderline interfering here? I want to know what you guys think. And then Larissa in the E after every man's name. Just the men. She doesn't do the women like that. Is she putting on? Is this something to be cute and sexy to seduce men? Colty, Ericy, I have never once heard her mispronounce a woman's name. She's putting on, guys. She's putting on, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay, you guys, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. If you haven't already subscribed and hit the notification bell, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.